Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and I have another rotation proof deck here for you guys today. This is a mono white control. I was calling it white control initially, but then I just felt like I was being racist, so adding the mono white to it makes it feel more magic-y. Does anyone else feel that same issue? Anyway, okay. So we are going to try to play rotation proof control here. And so first off, rotation proof, it means that we're only using these 4 sets here. We're not using any of the other ones. This means that if you do build this deck for yourself, nothing will rotate after September 25th when Zendikar Rising comes out, and all these cards will stay in standard, so you know that you're spending your wild cards correctly while you're putting it into this. And so what we're trying to do here is basically we have the value of Griffin Area. We're trying to play a little bit more control-y type of deck with gaining life. And again, a good way to, with control, we are not only just trying to interact with their stuff, but also just trying to stabilize and control the game. If we can keep our life total high and just kind of keep building more and more value into this, that is another way of kind of, it's almost more like a stacks or a life and taxes type of thing. I don't even know what the name of it is. But anyway, what we're trying to do is basically build a really wide board with Griffin Airy as our main win condition here with some other really good synergies. So lots of life gain potential in this deck. We have Light of Hope to gain us life, Speaker of Heavens to gain us life. And also once we get over 7 life, just creating 4/4 Angels is awesome. Charming Prince to gain us 3 life, Revitalize to gain us 3 life, Birth of Meletis to gain us 2 life, but hopefully with Speaker of Heavens and a few other things we can gain enough with it. So Birth of Meletis, also just creating more bodies on the battlefield for us, help us get into our land so we can actually play some of our other creatures on the top end. Heliod's Intervention gains us tons of life or destroys lots of artifacts and enchantments. Does actually come into good play against some decks here right now. 1 Heliod with all the life gain we're gaining here is really nice. By the way, if you are playing a non-rotation proof version, Dawn of Hope would be an amazing card to bring in for a little bit more card draw. That is the one thing that we're really missing with this deck. We have Revitalize, we have some scrying with Charming Prince, but Dawn of Hope as a 1 or 2 of would be great in this deck as well if you aren't wanting to complete rotation proof version of it. And then we also have Omen of the Sun, 3 mana flash. It gains 2 life, creates more bodies on the battlefield, slows down the game. That's what we're trying to do. And then as far as our removal goes, we don't have a ton of removal. In fact, I think we need to bring in some Elspeth Conquers Death. I just realized. So Elspeth Conquers Death comes in. I would like having Faith Headers because it does gain life for us. It does remove anything, but it can also be targeted. So we're going to 2 copies of each of those, and then we'll trim down on probably like 1 Birth of Meletis. We're really heavy in the 2-drop slot, so we don't need as much ramp there. Yeah, anyway, so Elspeth Conquers Death comes in as well for some removal. Faith Fetters, which enchants any permanent. Enchanted permanent can't attack, can't block. Its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So the only thing that doesn't stop is like a Llanowar Elves or any of those like mana abilities that comes in. We can technically target even like a Castle Ardenveld though, stop it from being able to actually create tokens. It does get to tap for mana, but we can use this to go on anything. So it's another good way to gain 3 life, gain up to 3 life, 4 life, to actually hit the Griffin Area as well. And then we have Archon of Sun's Grace. We have tons of enchantments in this deck to be triggering for it. So just a really good finisher for us in the air. And then we have our Elspeth Sun's Nemesis. Can gain 5 life. It also gives +2/+1 to some flying creatures. So it's a good way to just kind of close out the game. It keeps coming back. It's really nice for us. Shadow the Skies as well. Just kind of clear up the board whenever we need to. And then 1 Yorion because we have so many ETB effects with all the enchantments and stuff that we have. With an Archon of Sun's Grace and Yorion, it's just busted. It's really cool. So Yorion could be really nice in the command zone. If you want to do that, you can add in a bunch of different copies for everything. I think that with this deck, trying to be a little bit more focused on getting out Griffin Airy, it's better to be at 60 cards so that we can get it more consistently. But that's definitely a way to go. So anyway, this is the deck that I have here. We're going to go and jump into gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. All right, up against Eltanos, bringing on Eltanos. And yeah, we keep this. Lots of good card draw, some scrying effects, pass the turn. Light of Hope up against some more aggro decks. Like this does kill Annex. It kills a lot of enchantment creatures, and they still are showing up here and there. And also just puts +1/+1 counters onto things. That's actually pretty good for some of our creatures. So starting off, Charming Prince. Scry 2, try to find our Griffin Airy. Ooh, Shatter. We don't know what we're up against just yet. So I think we drop the Shatter, we keep the Plains. Pass the turn. All right, so play out Plains, pass the turn. We would like to make them keep discarding cards, so putting up chump blockers in front of Seasoned Hollowblade seems amazing. All right, so Omen of the Sun. Yeah, we have jump blockers for days in this matchup, so they just take it. That's probably the right play. Not actually worrying about it too much. All right, let's go ahead and go to combat, swing in. I want them to jump block on the 1/1, so then we can Light of Hope and kill it. Yep, so here we go. So plus encounter, onto you. Kill the Pridemate. Play Plains, play Speaker of the Heavens, and we're going to Revitalize. Pass the turn. That was a decent turn. All right, Johnny's Pridemate. Johnny's Pridemate. All right, so we go up to 25, then 27 with Omen of the Sun, and then we start creating Angel tokens. All right, so yeah, Omen of the Sun. Up to 25. Let's just do this now. Then swing in with Charming Prince. We can chump block if we need to. We have a 4/4 Angel. I don't think they trade off. Yeah, down to 16. Pass the turn. Dude, okay, I'm liking this deck a lot. Where this isn't quite control-y. It doesn't feel like it just yet. All right, they gain life. Do their thing. That's cool. That's cool. So I can actually, if we find land, so we have Birth of Meletis into Omen of the Sun. And then we can actually hit Faith's Fetters on the next turn. So first off, this has Vigilance, right? Does not have Vigilance. Those are the other ones. I think that we still try to keep the life total going down, though. So swing in. Down to 16, pass the turn. We can also just cry 2 if you want to, but I'd like to find Yorion. Tutors would seem like they could be pretty nice for this deck. All right, Healer's Hawk comes out as well. Lots of life gain creatures. Conclave Tribunal. What does that hit? The Angel. Okay. All right, play Omen of the Sun again. Yeah, so I think it's Elspeth Conquers Death, hit Faith's Fetters. Create another Angel. And no attacks. Glorious Anthem, that's good. Alright, so block here. Absolutely kill one of these guys. So they could gain life in hand. They have black mana though, so it doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, so I think that yeah. That's game. Sweetness. All right, up against Nagosha. I'll bring in Nagosha. So if you guys notice, I'm not playing in ranked as much right now. I guess Revitalize is good enough to keep it. The main reason I'm not playing in ranked as much, Charming Prince is great there, is because there's actually a competition now going on where like winning actually means something now when it didn't as much before. All right, go Griffin Airy, pass the turn. Scrying doesn't seem to do much for us, so at least we can start gaining life and killing them. So let's Revitalize. Draw a card. No land. That's a little bit awkward. We don't know if they're milling us or themselves just yet. All right, they're milling us. All right, we want to get to land so we can get to Arcana of Sun's Grace and actually like hit in for more damage. Heliod also can be pretty big for us. All right, let's go Charming Prince. Gain 3. I should have done this on the last turn as well. Okay, down to 18. I was just trying to hit the land, but this creates a wide enough board that we should be able to close it out before they mill us out. We'll see. Thassa. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's just 3. All right, there's land. I guess Omen of the Sun still does the most damage. So swing in. I'm worried they might have Counterspell. We get to gain 2 life, put 2 more bodies on the battlefield. We can also just create a 2/2 again. I guess drawing a card, trying to hit the land is better. Now we can have Arcana Sun's Grace, Face Fetters, maybe just to hit something. It doesn't stop the just triggered abilities though. Alright, gets to bounce a 2/2. Bounces the Baron, gets another Baron trigger. Swings in, yeah, no blocks, that's totally fine. Heliod is too slow here. We win by keeping damage going in as much as humanly possible. So Castle Ardenvale, and they get to just blink the Baron every single turn, huh? So this is where Face Fetters is a lot worse. Is they can just rebounce the creature. The gaining the life is nice. In fact, it's one of the only cards we can play that gains us enough life right now. If we play Arcana Sun's Grace, it gets bounced. If we play Elspeth, that could at least do some good stuff here. We can pump both of them. Hit in for quite a bit. Speaker of the Heavens into Omen of the Sun is decent as well. Just to go a little bit wide. If we do gain enough life, this gets big. So I think it is Elspeth Sun's Nemesis. Do we create tokens or do we pump? I think we pump here. Try to get them to trade off with Baron. This is 8 damage. That is a lot. Down to 4 past the turn. The +5 life to create another Griffin is okay. It doesn't do a whole lot for us though. So I guess, yeah, instead of Face Fetters, maybe we do just bring in Conclave Tribunal. We go wide enough that the speed that we can play it is probably better. Even though we gain life, like if we're going wide with Omen of the Sun, stuff like that, it's just better. Alright, bounces a Griffin. Yeah, Okay, we hit land. So much of our stuff just gets bounced. So we can play Speaker of the Heavens into what? Omen of the Sun is good. Alright, let's go Arcana Sun's Grace, Speaker of the Heavens. They have the counter. Down to 22. I am going to swing in, even though I know they can block with Wall of Lost Thoughts. I'm hoping they'd rather trade. Baron is just too good for us here. They can actually just bounce a wall back to their hand as well. Keep casting that. That's true. I guess I could have ambushed. No blocks. Down to 15. I wish this also said triggered abilities. Yeah, so I think Face Fetters is the issue here. If this was Conclave Tribunal or some other good removal, even like Light of Hope or I can't remember the name of it, it would be much better. Baron bounces our Charming Prince. Speaker of the Heavens does absolutely nothing for us, so that's fine. Alright, Revitalize. We get to create a Griffin. Okay, Speaker of the Heavens, we flash an Omen of the Sun, pass the turn. We have one more turn, potentially two. Swings in the air, all right. Yep, no blocks, take 8. Down to 10. Another Cloud Conceer, dang it. Yeah. This is where being mono white aggro would be better, is that the game would have been over a long time ago, being in a more aggro deck. Playing the more control-y stuff, we have good answers for some things. Face Fetters is feeling a little bit off here. Alright, Flash and Omen of the Sun before they get to draw a card. And hope potentially have a counter spell. Alright, so we can also bring back Elspeth's Son's Nemesis and pump some stuff. Opt. One card left. Alrighty. Okay, how can we win this turn exactly? That is the question. Alright, so if we bring back Elspeth's Son's Nemesis, we can pump up creatures, and we don't quite have enough because they have 4 blockers. If we can get rid of 1 blocker and still pump stuff, we have a shot. So I can get rid of 1 blocker, but not 2. Another blocker doesn't actually matter here. This has the highest chance of them failing, I guess. So we go for the Son's Nemesis plan. Just hope that they don't do good job blocking. All right, yeah, we're good. That's game. Bummer. Banishing Light is the other one I was thinking of. Yeah, so Banishing Light, that is rotation proof as well, right? Up against Biflozer. Biflozer, this guy. We're up against this guy. And this looks like a sweet hand. Being on the play, we're going to be a little bit slow, but we have Shadow Disguise and some life gain along the way. Play the planes, pass the turn. So I did bring in Conclave Tribunal. Chat reminded me that it's not rotation proof right after I submitted and we started playing the game. So messed up there a little bit, but that's fine. Swallow Whole could be a good thing for creatures. Being able to exile, for 1 mana, exile anything that's tapped. Yeah, chat always fails. What's up, chat? Come on, chat. It's all your fault, chat. Alright, Griffinary. Alright, so this is Teamer Adventure, Teamer Reclamation, I mean. We don't quite have Conclave Tribunal. We kept a great hand against aggro and a pretty not as good hand against other stuff. Miss Clothy, eh? Alright, so Revitalize, create a Griffin. They can ramp. Clothis is an intriguing card that is probably pretty decent in Wilderness Reclamation decks. Just because they tend to go a little bit longer anyway. Keeping life totals below. Alright, I have no clue what this is then. Let's get a peek though. Teamer midrange? Teamer Value Town type stuff. Seems good. It's to the bottom. Alright, we will go for Conclave Tribunal. Actually, let's see here. So this is where we can do some fun stuff. Is we can play out Omen of the Sun, not quite enough to gain us all the life we want. We don't get in for damage, but we get to play more things from our hand. And then Conclave Tribunal. That's why Conclave Tribunal comes into the deck. We get to go a little bit more wide consistently. Have bodies on the board. Yeah, Teamer Mythics is basically what this is. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Up against our common and uncommon deck. A few rares in here. Fiery Emancipation with Clothis. That does 6 now? What now? What is that doing? Huh? Alright, Elspeth Conquers Death. Yeah, we're not going to let that happen. Hitting the Clothis might have been a better way to go, but I think we can deal with it over time. Yeah, nothing in the graveyard is a little bit annoying though for the ECD. Cultivate. All right, we're hoping they are just going to start running out of steam. They have to exile with Klothys, which means if they don't hit another land, they can't actually use Uro for the next turn. So this only gives it to Pegasus, right? So Griffins aren't Pegasi. Go Arcana Sun's Grace, pass the turn. Yeah, if you are not playing the rotation proof version, bringing in like Teferi and stuff to this deck seems really good. Being able to bounce Omen of the Suns, replay them with Archon, all that stuff. Being able to bounce their creatures seems really good. All right, they're going to gain some more life. We're going to start going really wide though on them. Should be fine. No more targets for Klothys. All right, so attack in, attack in. Hit for 5. Gain 3 life, create a Griffin. Pass the turn. Yep, that's cool. Man, Klothys has done so much work this game. It's insane. I should have probably gotten rid of that earlier. Oh my goodness. Genesis Ultimatum. This looks like a fun deck, though. I do want to build this, because, I mean, just Teamer good stuff. There's so much good stuff in Teamer. That's a lot of Grazers. Oh, that is like the biggest whiff I think I've ever seen. 1 card to hand, probably another Ultimatum, potentially. See how many lands they have in hand. 1. All right. Growth Spiral. All right, so we can actually kill Uro here. With all of our tokens and stuff, which I think is actually worthwhile. These have reach anyway, so going wide is better. It gets in more damage. Actually, I guess we just offer it all up in case they do have some sort of removal. We just make sure Uro dies. Not anything in the graveyard. Klothys is going to keep... it's not a May ability, so it will hit something from the graveyard as long as there's something there. So Uro shouldn't be coming back, hopefully anytime soon. I guess they can have our Royal Grazer die, but that's cool. All right, let's go ahead and sack the Scry. They can hit our graveyard now too, I guess. All right, ECD and Charming Prince. Yeah, we keep both on top. Hit the Klothys. I mean, they've played out tons of value, but like this is just doing better than what they're doing. It's actually pretty sweet. All right, gain some life, create another Griffin, pass the turn. Kiora's Pesticicon. What? Dude, what is happening? This deck is ridiculous. Again, I mean it in like the ridiculous sense. Like, what? All right, they get to steal effects if we don't answer that in some way. So a way to blink this would be nice. Yorion off the top. Get Charming Prince, which doesn't blink, only blinks creatures. All right, so we also get to use Castle Ardenvale here. So first off, we're just gonna go Charming Prince first. Scry 2. Yeah, and the thing I'm most worried about is the still effect. Births are meh. Alright, we also get a scry here if we need it. We probably do need it. Alright, swing in. Tap all non-land permanents on our upkeep, so everything's going to tap down anyway. We could just shatter, get back the Arcana Sun's Grace. With Elswith Conquers Death. We can take damage for days though, right? So past the turn, we take it. It'd be nice to have something to get back with this, but I just remember, yeah, Klothys just hits our Arcana Sun's Grace anyway. So we wait until they actually steal our Archon. Yeah, they're going to tap down our permanents. We get to all non-land permanents. Yep, that triggers. They swing with the 8/8, and we can chump block with Castle Ardenvel. They're probably going to mill themselves out before we do much else. I mean, if they hit another Cure Best of Sea God, that's really good. Dude, this is just fun. I'm really liking what's going on here. All right, yeah, mill yourself some more. That's okay. You do get back Uro. Just in time for us to shatter. I'm trying to think like what they can steal of ours that would be worthwhile. After a board wipe, I don't think that there's a lot they can really do here. All right, create a token. Jump here. Down to 28. Everything stays tapped. We shatter. I guess I gotta play this in case of Lofty Denial. They don't have a flyer. So what do they steal? They can steal our Griffin Airy, which would be annoying, but it's not the worst. All right, auto pay. All right, so Cavalier of Thorns goes away. 11 cards left. They can play around it a little bit. This is ridiculous. They're actually putting a Cavalier on top. That's interesting. Maybe they have Thassa's Oracle. I guess that's probably likely. If they're playing a deck like this, to have one copy or something like that. Oh yeah, or Jace. Jace would work with what they're doing. Kind of. The ultimatums have been sweet though, that's for dang sure. Brings back Uro. Draws more cards. They would have enough to just kill us straight out, but we do have the Castle Ardenvel to block for days. And as long as we find anything good off the top, we're still okay. Oh, come on. All right. 10 cards left. This is one of those games where like we probably should scoop at this point. It's not a really high chance of us winning, but I want to stick in it just because there's that chance. Oh, they gain life from the Uros as well. All right, play Heliod. Pass the turn. Yeah, Uro with Griffin Airy also seems pretty good. Just go like a Bant version of this. Wouldn't be too shabby. 4 cards left in the library. If they had hit a Cavalier of Thorns, they actually would have just straight up lost. It's kind of surprising. Especially if they attack in with the Euro. Down to 3 cards left. They're not actually playing fast enough to kill us here. They must have Jace or Thassa's Oracle or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, so they can actually win with the Oracle. Oh, come on. Give us something here. I should have sacked here. Is that game? They've been playing so recklessly, and I think that's going to be game. No! Let's see here. So 10, 14, yeah. We can create a token and give it lifelink. So we actually have a little bit more life. Yeah, we can still do it. So tap those, that's fine. We take 2 more there, though. That's the game. 2 cards left. You gotta be kidding me. I guess they're worried about swinging with Uro. Shar with the Prime subscription. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Alright, so yeah, they do have enough for lethal here. We have 13 life. They're going to do 14. So close. I'm going to let that just play out, though. 1 card left in the graveyard, or in the library. So stinking close to being awesome. It's okay. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you draw a land off the top at those kinds of moments. It's all good. It's not like Arena hates you or anything like that. I won't take offense. Daxos being in here would be pretty good to gain a little bit more life, and also just have a good blocker. So yeah, Daxos could be really great here. Up against Waffling About, bring it on. Keep this on the play. This is pretty sweet stuff. Speaker of Heavens into Griffin Airy into double Charming Prince. Start creating tokens. Unless we need to dig for lands. We'll try to not dig for lands 1 turn. Swing in. Down to 19, past the turn. I mean, I'd like to just gain life so that we can use this, but if they're playing aggro, yeah, we're in trouble. So no blocks, take it. Down to 19, revitalize. That could also help us actually draw a land here. So go revitalize. Play the land, swing in. To 23. Alright, so if we... As long as they don't have any hasty creatures, we hit land, gain life twice, create a 4/4. Life is great. No blocks. Okay, give me land. Give it to me now. Yes! Alright. This is what we do. Alright, gain 3 life. Charming Prince, gain 3 life. Pretty good against mono red. Attack in first because it has vigilance. And then activate ability, create a 4/4, and then create a Griffin, and then, yeah, dude, whenever this goes off, this is so stinking good. Right up against ST1000. We can keep this because we have the Revitalizes to get some redraws, slowing the game down a smidge. Now we're digging for board wipe. Yeah, definitely digging for board wipe. Have you guys heard of Twitch Prime? Yeah. Pretty sweet stuff. Alright, play Speaker of the Heavens, pass the turn. Still no board wipe. Mono white flyers seems decent. Surprised there's not any blue yet, though. They might just not have it in hand. So dealing 3. Playing nothing. Very intriguing. All right, swing in. We could play the Elspeth Sun's Nemesis and do what? Go a little bit wide on the ground. They can start attacking this instead of us, which does... we can also gain 5 life with it on the next turn. So Speaker of the Heavens #2. Pass the turn, we use Revitalize. What I'd like to do is actually just start being able to create creatures with this. Yeah, because we're still at starting life total. If they only have 3 damage to swing in with, then we can have Elspeth Sun's Nemesis gain us 5 life, or Heliod and go crazy with life gain, and then just start creating tokens, angel tokens, and they shouldn't be able to deal with that. So not too shabby at all, if I do say so myself. All right, jumping into the wrap up with this deck, I think it's really powerful and fun. Speaker of the Heavens, such an insane card. It's a lot better for a more controlling matchup and controlling deck than other things. The nice thing is it is vigilant, it is lifelink, it is a chump blocker. It does all the things you want to be able to do with a control deck. If people swing out and you don't want to chump block, you get to swing back and at least change your life total a little bit more. You know, get a little bit of a swing going there. Gaining life is a great way to slow down games, to control games out a little bit more. I could see having maybe a little bit better interaction. Like that is the one downside with mono white, is there's not as good of interaction. Someone was suggesting Swallow Whole, which I think is a good card here. As an additional cost to cast a spell, tap an untapped creature you control. So we should have lots of creatures because we're going wide with everything. It also works with Speaker of the Heavens with that as well. And then exile target tap creature, any other target tap creature, put a +1/+1 counter on the creature tap to pay the spell's additional cost. So anyway, this is a good card here for us if we're up against creature decks. I feel like this is a card that you bring in from the sideboard more so than have it in the main phase, but in best of 1 to 2 copies definitely could be good, and that could be a better option than the Conclave Tribunals. Elspeth Conquers Death should hit all the permanents on the battlefield that aren't creatures that are annoying, so that should still be fine. Yeah, anyway, overall I think this deck is fun. Doing mono white control is just always good. Banishing Light, also a really good way to go with things as well. I like Swallow Whole. The issue with Banishing Light is that there's a lot of enchantment removal in the format right now, and so enchantment removal does hit a lot of the stuff you're trying to do, and it's not consistent necessarily to winning the game. But yeah, overall I think that we lost 2-1 3 or 4 with this deck, and so it's definitely has a winning record. We were running up against pretty powerful decks, even though we were playing in free play. Like I feel like all the decks we ran up against were powerful, and the deck is pretty budget. Like all the things that aren't budget you can have replacements for, and they're just fine. Like you just have more copies of the cheaper stuff and it'll be just fine. So yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.